Hi students, today the clinical scenarios from blood. We have two diseases, sickle cell anemia and porphyria. That is most repeatedly asking clinical scenarios. For sickle cell anemia, the clinical scenario, you have to read very carefully the clinical scenario. Usually they have mentioned about the sickle shaped RBCs. That is the main clue for your sickle cell anemia. Sickle shaped RBCs. Definitely on anemia, microcytic hypochromic anemia. Then some complication related thrombosis and atherosclerosis also will be there in sickle cell anemia. Usually the questions are name the diagnosis, justify it, molecular defect or enzyme defect, beta chain, how the valine is replaced by glutamine, like that the questions will be there. Second question is porphyria, right? In porphyria, you have classification hepatic and erythropoietic. In this acute intermittent porphyria is very, very important clinical scenario. So in the clinical case history, the patient is having interns and worsening abdomen pain. Abdomen pain is the very, very important feature for the acute intermittent porphyria. Mostly, mostly some surgeons will decide about acute appendicitis or acute abdomen-like condition. That much of pain the patient is having in acute intermittent porphyria. So the levels of PBG and ALA, you know, porphobilinogen, right? ALA, amino levulinic acid, right? Both are increased in both blood and urine. This is very, very important biochemical finding in porphyria, acute intermittent porphyria. Nausea and vomiting is there. Very clinching point for this acute intermittent porphyria in some clinical scenario like JIPMER, AIMS and CMC like standard is barbiturates induce ALA synthase. So that induce the enzymatic activity. The enzyme name is ALA synthase. Barbiturates induce means the patient is having the diagnosis is porphyrias, right? Another important finding to differentiate other porphyrias with acute intermittent porphyria is photosensitivity. Photosensitivity is not present in acute intermittent porphyria. This is also clinching point for your diagnosis of acute intermittent porphyria. Another one is acute intermittent porphyria always associated with neurological manifestations, tremors like that. Neurological